It's hot outside. Summertime, yes. And all I see is ass flopping in that dress. It's hot outside. Summertime, yes. And all I see is ass flopping in that dress. Vibes. Y'all, it's hot outside. Summertime, yes. Hoes with these sundresses. All I see is fat asses. Yeah, yeah. Moral of the story is, please put on some panties, women, or, some Spanx, or, anything that's going to support and lift, because it's hot outside. Summertime, yes. And your little stank ass. I ain't got no other bar for that. I thought I had another bar. Moral being, your booty looks nasty when it's just flopping like that. But it's sundress season, and I know the men love it. So, what's up, y'all? It's me. It's I, Mimi. And you're tuning into a brand new episode of VIBEZ, the podcast. Y'all, I am back. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? That sounded good. No, y'all, I'm back. I almost miss y'all. I almost miss y'all a lot. So, y'all, please forgive me for, going on a little hiatus. I had to take a break out. I was tired. A bitch was tired. Speaking of a tired bitch, has nothing to do with nothing, but let's move on and let's get into the song of the week. I like this joint. I do. This is SSN, They Say, by Deaux. So, y'all, listen to this joint, and then I'll get back with y'all, and we'll talk. Let's talk. But listen to the song first. I'll be right back.
Once I bring it, then I bring it back. Save from the altar, so I make it match. Cute as hell. Don't have no exes in LA, what is that? Niggas steady shooters, lazy running backs. NFL, I come from winners with the gun attacks. It is in the coca, bring the summer back. Quick as hell. Roll that hair with a country bag. Fuck her right today, shorty, bring the gas. Hit a shell. See the paper, guaranteed that it's on my radar. See you bitches, they fall. Gotta move when I'm on them honors. We know that I'm better. Truth is, I'm a real upgrader. Come on, DC hater. And they say it's my season. She know that I know. But I got my reason. And she knows. And I know. Baby, she getting sinister. I hit the pinnacle. Might make a band of this member. Yeah. Die immortal, but I come like the finish. And whoever, wherever, whenever. Yo, bitch so friendly, she Jennifer. But she carbon copied in my new bitch identical. Might take a fan out to Vatican. I'm on the net, shit like Eminem. That shit I'm dropping just might make him rap again. I'm riding with Eminem, about to do spinning game. Broke out the sentence, see the sky was dimming. Then shot it as dimming. Don't gave him a Timmy Grinch. I made him skinny some shoes. Had me jittery in school. Older cousin on the news. Then they shut out the shoes. See the paper, I guarantee that it's on my radar. See you bitches, they fall. Gotta move when I'm on them honors. We know that I'm better. Truth is, I'm a real upgrader. Come on, DC hater. And they say it's my season. She know that I know. But I got my reason. And she knows. And I know. Baby, nowadays say that it's my season. I got these bitches making life a living. I got to reason how you see at my reason. I had my reason.
Yo, I'm back. I am back. Y'all, that shit was hot. That is John Doe with SSN. John Doe is a lady, but that's spelled JeanDeaux. And for all you little special case mugs, DEAUS is not docs, motherfucker. It's dough. Just like it's not fox, it's foe. FEAUX. But this song comes from the artist John Doe. That shit was hot. Y'all go hit her up on SoundCloud at John Doe. She has a bunch of different songs on here, and they all have that vibe right there. Y'all can look her up on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Apple Music, and SoundCloud, or visit her website, johndoemusic.com. Download and buy her music. The shit is hot. So I've definitely had that song right there on repeat. Y'all support John Doe. Also, because she's from Chicago and she black. Go on here, girl. All right, y'all, let's move on to some black shit. Girl, what's all that black shit? I don't know. Black ass shit. Y'all, I missed y'all. All right. Speaking of being missed, we're about to start missing Morgan Freeman. Y'all, the white women are coming for Morgan Freeman. They coming for him. So 8 white women have already accused Morgan Freeman of sexual assault. And y'all know this ongoing Me Too movement. Now, 8 white women accused him of sexual assault. 2 of them got on CNN and did an interview in which one of them stated how she was sexually assaulted or mistreated, and then she provided a clip of which Morgan Freeman was supposedly saying something that was degrading towards her. And first off, she made herself look like an ass, because that was a clip of him telling a joke about, during a press junket he was doing for his last movie. That comment he made had nothing to do with this lady. But now you got, attack of the white women. So now I'm not saying that Morgan Freeman has never, sexually assaulted someone or mistreated a woman in a negative way. I don't know. I don't know the man's life. But when I just feel like some white women are jumping on this bandwagon of the Me Too movement, and they're using this movement as a way to get money and a way to get fame. And it's like you're taking away from the women who actually have a story to tell and who actually want to put their not their accusers, but want to put these predators behind bars. But y'all, what really got me though is that, so in less than 48 hours, the Academy what's it called? The Oscars people, the Academy. They took away his Lifetime Achievement Award in less than 48 hours, stemming from these allegations. Now, they just awarded him that damn Lifetime Achievement Award this past Oscars, which was like February. They already took that shit back in less than 48 hours. So, y'all, I'm sick of people. I'm over this because I'm over white women. And basically, my point was, Morgan Freeman released a statement in which he apologized for any mistreatment that he's ever done towards any women who felt uncomfortable by him. But he said he was not apologizing for the woman who got on CNN and accused him of sexual misconduct, because he basically said, I'm not apologizing for that because that was just a misappropriated joke. Basically, he was like, I'm not apologizing for that because it ain't had shit to do with you. So y'all, please go get PSA. If you or anyone you know suffer from IKWW, please seek help. IKWW is a disease that is widespread throughout America. IKWW. I know white women. Please get treated. For treatment of IKWW, you can visit your local doctor with Itrexa and all kind of other medications that may arrive. I was trying to talk fast like they be doing on the commercial. It ain't working. Y'all go get these white women because I'm sick of them. Speaking of white women and being tired of them, y'all, Auntie Rachel Dolezal, she changed her name to something, and I did not look it up, but she legally changed her name to something that sounded like Mbaku. It was along those lines. But y'all, Auntie Rachel is facing criminal charges for welfare fraud. Now, this is where her never had black card is really revoked. Because y'all know she's been working hard over these last years to, be black and get this black card. But this is where it was revoked, the card that she never had. Now, Rachel, see, this is how my community knows that you're not really black. Who the fuck gets convicted for welfare fraud? Because I'm trying to figure out. Because black people have been committing welfare fraud for hundreds upon hundreds of years. Girl, you got to know how to work the system. And see, Rachel, that's where, we just take everything that we almost didn't really give you. This is where we take it. Girl, let me tell you something. The people in my community making $60,000 a year and they still get Link, okay? And Link is food stamp cards. And they up here, they getting cash benefits and shit. Hell, some of them get Social Security checks and still make more than I do in a year. They've been committing fraud everywhere all day. Niggas out here selling their food stamps. Let me get $200 for the $150. Rachel, you supposed to know how to do these things. How you tell people that when you go to jail? Oh, I'm in here because I was committing welfare fraud. Bitch, we all committed welfare fraud, but we ain't in jail for that. Somebody go get Rachel because she don't even know how to be black right. Girl, you can't even pretend. She don't even know how to pretend to be black. And if you can't even pretend to be black, then you don't get to come in our community. Rachel, Mbaku, it's something like Tasha or something, but the M might be silent. Mtk. Y'all, legit, look it up. She real life changed her name. And that's where the slip up happened. Because after she changed her name, legally changed her name, she was not reporting all the income she was generating from doing tours and press junkets for the book she was writing. And so welfare, Department of Human Services caught up with her ass and was like, hold up, slow down, be humble a little bit. And then they got her little dumb ass. Somebody get your auntie. Now let's talk about some real strong black women. When I say strong black women, she black. She's just Muslim. Y'all, I know y'all saw this story. So, a young Muslim woman, this is why black women just so strong. We so strong. Y'all, this lady gave birth and walked across the stage in less than 12 hours after giving birth. You understand what I'm saying? She gave birth. This was like sometime last week. So she gave birth around 11 o'clock at night and still made it to her graduation the next day at 5:30 p.m. and walked across the stage. Do you understand what I'm saying? Huh? You understand me? Understand me. How you do that? How you push a whole baby out your coochie and then walk across the stage less than 12 hours later to, receive your degree? Girl, you better get your degree by any means necessary, but I feel like sometimes we be taking shit too far. We know you strong. You a strong black woman, but you could have told them to video you in or something. I'm not delivering no babies and then getting my ass up in less than 12 hours. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she had to drive. First off, you got to get dressed. Okay, you got to shower. And I can't imagine the pain that you're in after giving birth, okay? And then try to shower and do all that stuff. and then to get out the house and then drive and be walking in heels and it's hot and sweaty and you did all that, got out the house and now you got to sit in the hot ass sun. And then you finally get to walk across stage. Girl, she is a strong black woman. She really is. Because I'm just not doing it. If I gave birth and I knew my graduation was the very next day, I would have been like, teachers, professors, please Skype me in. I got on all my stuff. Just Skype me in and mail my diploma. Thank you so much. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for your hospitality. Girl, y'all know anybody who done that? Who delivered their baby and was like out of the hospital and up and working and doing the extra shit like a day after? Because I really think about like all these celebrity women who give birth and then we see them outside a week later on dates and shit with, the man that's been cheating on them for the longest time. I really honestly, I try to figure out like, where's the time that you took to recover? I thought you needed recovery time after you gave birth. No? Oh, okay, it's just me. That's why I don't have any fucking kids. All right, let's move on. Because I can't. That was too much for me. But, power to you, girl, for busting it wide open and then tell them to bring it back to your degree. All right, speaking of busting it wide the fuck open. Y'all. So y'all remember. Okay, so let me just do this first. So Sarunas, I think that's how you say his name. Sarunas Jackson, and we just found out that Sarunas Jackson is Dominique Perry's baby daddy. I'm gonna tell y'all who that is. So y'all know Sarunas Jackson, that's his real name. Y'all know him as Deaux from Insecure, right? Boom, Deaux. Molly sleeping with Deaux, which is actually her friend, and Deaux is married. That's on the show. The guy who plays Deaux, his name is Sarunas Jackson. Now, y'all also remember Dominique Perry. Dominique Perry, we know her from Insecure also as Bang Bae. Remember Lawrence, when him and Issa broke up and then he started dating Bang Bae, and we really know her because at the end of the season, he was smashing. I mean, he really was. Him and Bang Bae was smashing. And when I say smashing, he was really smashing the shit out of her. She was just busting it wide open. So those two actors, Bang Bae, her name is Dominique Perry. So y'all remember like a few months ago, if you follow the Shade Room and everything on Instagram, y'all saw the actress Dominique Perry post up her maternity shoot, her pregnancy shoot, and she had on that really pretty red dress, but she was just by herself. And I was trying to figure out the whole time, like, where's the baby's father? Where are you married? Are you in a relationship? Y'all not working it out? Are you going to mention him? No, nothing. So maybe a few days ago, she put on Instagram, she finally had her baby and it was the light of her life or whatever she said. But then this is how we found out that Deaux was her baby daddy, because he put that shit up either the same day or the next day and was like, my little one, or some shit like that. Y'all, I was like, see, Deaux saw her being smashed and he was like, I have to test that out in real life. But see, he slipped up and he did too much testing because he forgot to put the shit in a little container. You get what I'm saying? Instead, he put it in her container. Made sense in my head. But here's the kicker. So the girl that Sarunas was dating found out, as we all did through Instagram, that her boyfriend or guy dating person, man, just had a baby. She ain't know none of this shit because he ain't never tell her. So you out here leading the same life as you play on TV. Niggas ain't shit but hoes and tricks. See, I know I can't be the only one who's like always skeptical about people who play like certain characters and they play them so well. Like there comes a point where you try to figure out, is he acting or is she acting, or because that shit seemed too real. Like he seems real relaxed, and that was almost my thing. So I would have my friends like, Some of my friends who watch Insecure will be like, I don't like his acting because it's terrible to me. But I was always like, nah, he's doing this way too good. Like, he's too comfortable. Like, he's relaxed as fuck in this role. And now we see why. But shout out to Dominique Perry and Sarunas Jackson on their little new bundle of Baby Joy. And Sarunas, if I was you, I would let these hoes know. You know, if you out here dating these hoes, let them know you got a whole baby. Own baby. Let them know you got a whole baby. And shout out to Dominique Perry for busting it wide open in real life with Sarunas. I wonder how that went down. But that ain't none of my business though. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's it for black shit. You know, that was a little nice little thing, a little shit to black shit. I have no clue what I just said. But some of y'all understood me. All right, y'all, let's move on to what the fuck, Chicago. Here is my news white woman voice. It's Mimi Wallace reporting live from inside Sarunas Jackson's penis. Here are your weekly updates for what the fuck, Chicago. A woman was held captive by her boyfriend while visiting a veterinary office. The woman managed to slip a note to an employee stating that she was in danger. The note also read, "Please neuter my cat. She is a hoe." Kanye West has refused to assist financially with the non-for-profit house named after his late mother, Donda's House. Representatives also confirmed that they will change the name from Donda's House to this nigga. A red line train operator fell onto the tracks at the 95th Street stop. Police questioned the employee, who later on admitted that he just wanted to have the day off for the holidays. Did a very good job, sir. Fell on the tracks on purpose. Thank you. Those are your weekly updates for what the fuck, Chicago. All right, y'all. So, now, y'all remember the last episode, I told y'all that we were going to switch it up a little bit for the question of the week, and we were going to have questions of the week submitted by you all, the listeners. But because y'all do not listen, and only one person submitted a question of the week, and I thank this person, and I don't know if they really want me to use their real name, so I'll give them a name. But I thank you, one person. Now, I'm going to be putting on the Facebook and the Instagram and the Twitter. I sound like an old ass woman. On all of the social media, you guys, I will put, post up telling you all to send me an email with questions of the week or any kind of stories that you want me to read or, shout you out on the podcast. But y'all have to send in the email so that I can have some shit to read. Pay attention. All right, y'all. So this is question of the week that was submitted by, I will call him Duntavion, because it makes sense in my mind. So Duntavion's question was, have you ever become friends with or dated someone that you originally met online? Was the relationship better in person or online? So yes to all of that. I will tell y'all a story. I have dated online quite often after judging my mama for doing it, and then promising and making a vow to myself to never do that, because I would never be that desperate to date online. But then I found myself desperate as fuck. So I definitely dated online. I used Plenty of Fish and OkCupid. I went on Black People Meet, but they thought I was about to pay them a $34 a month membership, and I was like, "Fuck you mean, oh baby, I'm out of here." I did not do that. I'm positive I used some other websites. I just don't remember them all. Oh, I've used Soul Swipe, which is like the Black Tinder, but it's called Soul Swipe. I've actually used Tinder also, which is a hot fucking mess, and something else. So here's the thing. I've definitely dated online, but I don't think I have ever become friends with someone that I met online. So let me think. I don't remember half the people that I dated, which is very bad. I know. It's a lot of people. But no, I don't think that, let's see, some past relationships, I met at a club, through a friend. No, I have not become friends with any guy that I've dated online. And the next part of that question was the relationship better in person or online? Here's the thing. I have definitely dated someone online, and we've continued on with a text relationship. Well, I'm not going to call it relationship, but a text situationship. And what I mean by that is we had not met in person yet, but you know how you continue on if you date online, messaging that person back and forth, and it's either for weeks or months. So I've definitely done that, and I've had some interesting situationships with some of the guys that I've dated online in that manner. Now, when I have met some of them, as opposed to the back and forth communication via text or email or whatever it was, that part was better than the in-person dating, because those people, those guys, usually when you meet them in person, or I'm talking about myself, so usually when I met them in person, they had little to no conversation, and they were usually ugly as fuck. So I've been catfished many of times. They were not fresh, and by fresh I mean they were not clean. And when I say they were not clean, they were stanky as hell. Stanky as fuck. Let's see. Just to answer the question overall, I definitely have, I feel like overall the online text situationship was always better than the in-person dating, because you meet the people in person, and a lot of people lie about who they are online because they really don't ever have any intentions of meeting you face to face anyway. And then when you all continue communicating back and forth and you come to this agreement to meet in person, a lot of them follow through with it without really understanding that this is supposed to turn into something with longevity. But like I said, I think a lot of people who do online dating do it for purposes of quick satisfaction. I'm just trying to do some sexting right now, or I want to meet this person online and we can fuck real quick, and then that's that. But when you got to meet them in person, I've met people in person who lied about their age. I met some dude online on Plenty of Fish. Y'all, that app is horrible, because it's just horrible. And to the person who recommended that to me, you are a piece of filthy shit. Don't remember who that person was, though. But I met this dude on Plenty of Fish. His profile said he was 30. And then I went out and met him in person, and we went and met up for breakfast and all of that stuff. And when I saw him in person, I was like, he looks a bit older, but maybe he's just having a bad day. And then he came out, he was like, I want to tell you something. Don't be mad at me. I was like, what the fuck? He's a murderer. He was like, no, I know my profile says that I'm 30, but I'm actually 45. And I was like, what the fuck, sir? What the fuck? But what I did do is continue to sit there and eat that free breakfast. Judge me if you must. I met some guy who seemed very nice online and had all of his shit together, had a master's degree in architecture, his own place and car and money and all that good stuff. And then you meet him in person, and he was deeply into the Muslim religion. I had no problem with that, but he was trying to recruit me, and I was like, sir, listen, the answer is no. And on top of, trying to recruit me into his cult, he had a thing with his breath. There was a stench. And I could not kiss him. So every time he tried to kiss me, I was ducking and dodging, you know, like I was running from bullets. Because, you know, I'm from Chicago. I'm a motherfucking thug. That's all we do is run from bullets. But his breath was stank. And I couldn't take it. Let's see, y'all. I have so many stories, like online dating. But overall, like I said before, it's usually better online for me than it is in person. Because, you know, when I meet these guys in person, they usually just don't have any personality, or they are like baby stalkers in the making, or murderers in the making. They're just not the people that they said they were in their profile. And I'm usually the only one, like if I go out on dates and then they're like, oh my God, you look exactly like your pictures, you're beautiful. Sir, am I not supposed to fucking look like my pictures? What? Oh my God, you look nothing like the pictures that you posted, and you seem nothing like how you write about yourself on your profile. Are you the person that you say you are? So, that's it. If y'all got some stories about, you know, online dating, I really want to hear some crazy online dating stories, because I'll share some with y'all, but I first need y'all to share some of y'all stories with me, because I have one story like that will basically like knock y'all fucking socks off. It really will. And I honestly don't even know, like, that, okay. So that story is crazy. But if y'all share your stories with me, you know, send them to the email askvibez@gmail.com, askvibes.com. If y'all got some crazy online dating stories, or you know some of your friends do, just email me their stories. We don't give a fuck about them. All right, y'all. So that's it. So thanks to Dontavion. Thought I wasn't going to remember this made up name. Thanks to Dontavion for submitting that question. I would like for y'all to follow suit and follow directions and send in your questions of the week. Those can be any questions that you want me to answer here on the podcast. I'll be more than happy to answer them. All right, y'all. So let's move on to the topic of the week. I am excited about this topic because I don't know. I'll tell y'all why afterwards. But no, I'm going to tell y'all why now. I'm excited. I'm excited about this topic because it's a big issue for a lot of people. It really is. So, the topic of the week is dating cheap. And what I mean by that is exactly what the fuck I just said. Read between the lines. So, dating cheap. I'll tell y'all. So, basically, dating cheap is cheap dating. Like, frugal dating. I'll say that. So, you know, you meet somebody and y'all are going out and you really vibe with the person, but you've noticed that person is frugal. Y'all might say cheap, but the person is very conscious about how much money they spend. So you might think that person's being cheap, but you know, they're being frugal and they're being conscious about, you know, their money and how much money that they're spending. So I pose this question because the first point is what is considered a cheap date. And I chose this topic because I feel like I'm a cheap date. Now before y'all start judging me, there's definitely the cliche behind that. You know, if you're a cheap date, that means you a hoe. I have been known to never be a hoe because people will never know that I was a hoe. Bars on baby. No. But here's the thing. I am very aware, and I try to be fair and conscious about, you know, when I go out on dates, about what I order, because I don't know what the financial situation is of that man. And I don't feel comfortable asking a man, how much money do you have, or how much money do you make, so that I can know what to order. I don't feel like, well, you know what? It's not me to go and look at the most expensive thing on the menu and order it. Only because if it was my turn to pay for the date, and yes, I believe you should be fair, and as a woman, you should pay for a date. But if it was my turn to pay for a date, I would definitely have to talk about, or would not want him to be ordering the most expensive thing off the fucking menu, because, you know, I got bills to pay. So when we're talking about like what's considered a cheap date, I always try to be aware of, you know, the financial situation of, you know, whatever guy I'm dating, because I don't want to break anybody's pockets. I understand what it's like to have to pay all of your bills and still try to manage the money that you have left for fun. So, getting back into the first point, which is what is considered a cheap date. Now, I have heard women complain about being taken to Red Lobster on a first date. Like, legit. Let me tell you something, bitch. You don't ever complain about them biscuits. Now, I won't ever complain about Red Lobster again, because Beyonce said, when he fuck me good, I take his ass to Red Lobster. Okay. So that's all. Red Lobster's not a cheap date, y'all. Because it's people who be going to Red Lobster on the first date, and then, you know, some people get out of hand ordering these king crab legs and shit, and that shit ain't expensive. So, I keep getting off topic, but what's considered a cheap date? So if a guy takes you out and he takes you to, you know, Buffalo Wild Wings, and then, I don't know, shit, that's it. That's y'all first date. Buffalo Wild Wings. Is that a cheap date? I know some women who would definitely complain and be like, hell no, he ain't never finna take me to no fucking Buffalo Wild Wings for the first date. Bitch, I ain't cheap. I'm expensive. And it's like, no, oh, your hair is expensive. You're not. I don't know, that I'm really trying to figure it out. Like, because a lot of women complain about everything, and then I complain about everything. And then I feel like there are some men who have never honestly, and these are niggas, they're not young men. Some niggas have never honestly been on a real date, so they don't know what's appropriate or what is considered dating, or they don't know what is considered an actual date. So if you got hood niggas trying to take you out on a date, their idea of a date is, let's go get a bottle, let's go get, you know, some 10 wings from Golden Hook and Fish, and then we're gonna roll back over to Tutu damn apartment, and we're gonna chill in that bitch and drink this Deaux and eat these wings. That's a cheap date to me, because that's hood mentality. That's his idea of a date. But then when you got people still complaining about, oh no, bitch, he took me to Red Lobster. Who the fuck do he think I am? Oh no, bitch, you know, he took me to Buffalo Wild Wings. Girl, he took me out to, you know, walk in the park, and then we ate at some little fucking restaurant that I really didn't like the food. Like, he could have done better. I hear all of these complaints. So, to you, what is considered a cheap date? Netflix and chill is definitely not considered a cheap date, and I'll tell y'all why. Because if you're Netflix and chilling, you're not even thinking about dating, you're thinking about fucking. So, and, you know, that's out of the equation. Like, he invited me over to Netflix and chill. Yeah, bitch, but you also went, so you knew what it was. And he didn't have no food at his apartment. If I walk in and you invite me over to Netflix and chill, I know what the intentions are for the night. But if I walk into your house and you don't even have any food, I'm walking the fuck back out, because you're trifling. And I see you don't feed your host. And I kind of touched on this point a little before. So moving on to the next point, which is, what is standard in dating? Like, is it standard for the man or the woman to pay? Now, I am going to assume that a majority of people, especially women, are going to say that the men should always pay for the date. And now we got some some of these newfangled little boys out here who are like, hell no, the woman always pay for me. The woman should always pay for the date. Here's my take on that. I try to be fair as a young woman, and this is why. Now, I'm never going to stop the man from paying for every date if that is what he wants to do. I'm never going to object to that. But if I'm dating someone and he is honestly basically just trying to manage his financial situation, and he's trying to be more aware of how he spends money, because that's a lot of us out here, I'm not going to expect him to pay for every single date, because sometimes he just might not have it. So that's what I mean when I'm like, I'm trying to be fair. Or he can have it, but it's like, okay, we'll give him a break. He does this every time. Be fair. Pay for something. So, in my opinion, I believe that it should be an equal opportunity with women, men and women paying. So something that I've done, like if I've gone out dating and I've, gone on 3 or 4 dates first. And then because if you make it past 3 dates, that means I probably almost like you. So, but no, for real. But if I've gone out on 3 dates with you and then we go out again, what I've usually done is offer to pay for the 4th date or pay on the 4th date, because I just want it to be fair. Now, I will say the last person I dated, I did not pay for 1 date, and I'll tell you why. Because I didn't get a chance to. We went out on a lot of dates. We really did. So I can't say I didn't get a chance to, but I'll say that he probably just kept pulling out his card before I could get to mine. That's it. Or, yeah, that was it. No, but for real, y'all, I try to be fair in situations like that. But usually, if I have the money and I'm able to pay for a date, then I definitely will. If I don't have the money and I'm not going to be out here fronting like, yeah, I can pay for this date. But in that sense, I still try to be fair with, paying for dates. Whether that's a cheap date or whatever. If I know that I can't, go out and afford to really go out, then I'm going to, invite you over and cook some shit, whatever I got in my kitchen. But lately ain't had no food in my kitchen. So again, point being, what is standard, or what is standard to you? Do you believe that the man should always pay, or do you believe that it should be in a shared or equal opportunity? The man and the woman can pay for the dates equally. And the next point being, does it, and I talked about this in the beginning also, but does it make you seem easy if you like cheap dates? And I ask this question because I like cheap dates. And Jesus Christ himself knows that I am not easy. I'm not. Now, I love a good date. It does not have to be over the top fancy, but I love a good date. If you've taken time to plan or pick a place out and choose it, I am not opposed to that. That is not something that's going to ruffle my feathers, because I appreciate that. But I also like a cheap date. I truly do. So like I said, a cheap date to me is, I don't know, we're going to go to the side restaurant. We're going to go to JJ Fish and order us, some food from there. Give me a perch dinner or something, and then you get you an 8-piece. And then we can go to the movies with all this shit in our bag and sit in there and eat this full meal while we also snuck some liquor in there. And just sit there. And then after the movie, we can go and sit in the car in the parking lot somewhere and just talk and probably hunch on each other. But that's a cheap date to me. I enjoy that, because for me, that's when you really get to know that person. So you're figuring out what their intentions are, and then you all are too close to each other to not form some type of conversation. But you can also, figure out whether that conversation is forced or not. Because one thing I'm not going to do is force the conversation. But usually in those situations with me, I feel comfortable enough to, tell some things about myself, and the guy usually feels comfortable enough to tell some things about himself. So we're communicating and we're getting to know each other because we're in the car in the parking lot. Okay, so it's nothing at that point. It's nothing else. It's always something else for us to do. But because I'm not an easy person, it's nothing else for us to do at that point other than talk, and we're getting to know each other. But that's a cheap date to me, but it's not a terrible date. That's the thing. Because, if you can go get some food from JJ Fish, both of us, that's $20 right there. And then we're going to go to the movies on a Tuesday because you get that student discount. Okay? And if you go in Melrose Park, the movies is $3 on Tuesday. So that's $26 now. And we already had the liquor at home that we brought. That's free. So we just spent $26 on a date. And we just had the best time. We spent almost the whole day with each other. That's a cheap date, but it's also a good date. So it's girls out here who love those type of dates. And like I said, they're never opposed to going out because it's something that they actually like, going out to, nice restaurants or doing nice things as dates. But those cheap dates are really fun to them, and it's really exciting. So the question was, or the point was, does it make you seem easy if you like cheap dates? So if you're just always going out on cheap dates all the time, if you always only going to Wendy's and getting a Baconator, and then y'all go and sit in a parking lot somewhere and just talk all the time, or, if he come and pick you up and y'all go and sit on the porch at his auntie house and do nothing, that's a cheap date. Does that make you seem easy? I mean, because it's a stigma around that. It's a stereotype around being a cheap date, because you usually do things that are not considered, looking for a word that I can't find, but you're usually in situations on dates in which it's not the best form of a date, in society's eyes, or in society's eyes, in the new culture of dating. But then you have to also think about what is the new culture of dating. So if you got somebody like me, I like these type of dates, and then I also like cheap dates. But then you think about the new culture of dating, and some of them don't really truly know what dating is. So, and speaking of that, that brings me to my next point, which is, technically, is it a date? And what I mean by that is, if you are, going out with somebody and y'all getting some food on the side, and then y'all just hanging out in the car and riding around, technically, is that a date? Because that goes back to the first point. What is considered a date? If I'm with you and you come and pick me up and we go get some food from Red Peppers, because they got some good ass chicken, and then we just in the car eating, and we park and eat and then just ride around, is that a date? To me, yes, that's a cheap date, because the only money you spent was on that food. But I just spent the last 5 or 6 hours with you, and we've just spent that time getting to know each other. So that's a date. To me, that is, because I was out with you. You don't have to, it doesn't always have to be formal. You get what I'm saying? If you're going out and you're dating, it doesn't always have to be a formal situation. So that last point is, technically, is it a date? So some people would be like, hell no, that ain't a date. He just took me to get some chicken and then we was riding around in the car. No, that is not a date. That don't even count. So technically it does count. So it's people who probably been out here dating for like 6 months to a year, but they don't count 4 months of that shit because maybe 3 or 4, or I'll say 2 or 3 months of it was literally like cheap dates. And so I know, girls, we are so petty. We are a petty people. We truly are. So we will literally cut down the time that we've been dating if we feel like the dates technically didn't count. So it's like, you could have been dating for a year, you know, in the guy's mind. It's like, no, we've been dating for a year. And then the woman will come along like, no, bitch, we've been dating for 9 months. It's like, what happened to the other 3 months? Bitch, that didn't count because all you did was take me over to your cousin them house and then we chilled in the backyard. That wasn't no dates. And, you know, in the guy's mind, it's like, that was a fucking date. I spent my whole day with you. I'm with the guy on this one. Y'all spent the whole day together, and it might not have been the ideal situation that you would have liked to been in, but that was a date. Okay, it was just called a cheap date. So y'all, that's it. That was the topic of the week: dating cheap. So also, I want to know y'all's opinions on this. So I really do want y'all to, you know, hit me up on social media or send me an email about what is your idea or what is a cheap date to you, because I want to know. Okay, so yeah, we're going to move on to Ratchet Drink Chronicles. That's new. I like that. It was sexual. Currently, I am not drinking anything because I'll tell you why. I've been drinking all day, and I was like, I'm done. Now, I went to my friend's housewarming, and I was drinking Deaux over there, and ginger ale, the new lemonade ginger ale, and I had a lot of that shit. I drank a lot of Deaux. And then I had a little bit of Jack Daniels over there while I was there. And then I went to my best friend's house, and they were barbecuing, and then I drank beer and rosé and possibly something else I don't remember. But I've just been drinking all day, and I was like, but I don't feel like drinking anymore because I want to wake up alive in the morning. So, Ratchet Drink Chronicles, y'all. I've been drinking all day, so if y'all want to go and mix some Deaux and Jack Daniels and rosé and a Stella Artois beer together, y'all can do that because that's what the fuck I drank today. Ratchet Drink Chronicles. Man, let's move on to these shout-outs of the motherfucking week. So, speaking of getting drunk, I just want to shout out my bestie Dominique for my birthday gift. My birthday was only 3 fucking weeks ago. But I just got my birthday gift from my best friend. And I loved every single gift that she gave me. She gave me a coffee. One of the gifts was a coffee mug. And and on it, it literally, y'all know the Whitney Houston song, I Will Always Love You. But y'all know how black people sing it, and I will always love you. But you know how if you write it out, it got all them extra I's and them extra E's and all that shit. It was exactly how black people would sing it. That phrase is written on that coffee cup, and this shit cracked me up. So I'm definitely gonna have that at work. Thanks to my bestie. I loved my birthday gift. It was a variety of things. So thank you for that. Thanks to my friend Randall for our day out. Now, I was trying to manipulate Randall, basically, because manipulate is the right word. I didn't even have to manipulate him because he said he would do it. But I was trying to con Randall into buying me some new shoes because he loves me. And instead of going to get new shoes, we hung out for the day, and we had a fantastic time. So we hung out. I don't remember the name of the club, but it's downtown Chicago near like 800 North Orleans in that area. And they had a very nice rooftop bar. And we had a blast there. And then we ended up going to about 2 other bars and was drunk as shit. And we just had a really nice day. So shout out to Randall for hanging out with me and having a good time. Also shout out to my friend Ashley for our girls' day that we had. We went to a restaurant here in Chicago called Urban Q. And I think that's the name of it. It's on Randolph and Ashland, and it's a noodle place. And when I tell you I had like the chicken noodle soup, the chicken noodle special. When I tell you that was the most delicious shit that I ever had in my whole entire life. It was so good, y'all. If y'all are in Chicago, go to Urban Q and get the little chicken noodle special, whatever it is. I can't think of it, but it was absolutely delicious. So shout out to Ashley for finding that place, and we went and we had us a good time. Also, last shout out goes to my mama. My mama still had not got me a birthday present, but then she did, and she took me on a shopping spree to New York & Company and Victoria's Secret, and I got some really good stuff, y'all. My mama took me on a shopping spree for my birthday because I told her I wanted new clothes, and so we went and we bought the fucking mall out, and by we, I mean my mama, because I don't have any money to do that. So those are my shout outs for the week. Thanks to everybody who just showed me a good time. I had a good week. I really did. And thanks to my job for paying me on time. The fuck? So I'm able to pay my bills. Y'all, that's it. That's the whole motherfucking show. I don't want to go. Oh. Time to join the morning show. All right, y'all. So I tell y'all this each and every time. I think y'all are starting to listen to me, because I will tell y'all this, y'all. I always check the data analytics of the podcast on each platform that I'm on to see how many listeners I attract each day. And what I will say is this: I am starting to see growth in the listeners, the daily listeners. And I want to thank y'all so much, because it really does my heart proud. Makes my heart do a few backflips. So thank y'all for listening. And I also want to tell you guys to follow VIBEZ Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's VIBEZ with a Z, VIBEZ Podcast. Go and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Castbox, Spreaker, and Google Play Music. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Tell your friends to tell their friends to tell their friends to listen to the motherfucking show. Oh, baby. Go follow us on social media. Don't forget, you guys, send me questions of the week that you want me to answer. You can send those questions to askvibez@gmail.com. You can email me stories, any stories that you want to share about your experiences with online dating. And also email me any questions or stories you have about what is dating cheap to you and what is considered a cheap date to you, because I really truly want to hear them. Send that email or just DM me on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook. That's VIBEZ Podcast. On Instagram, it's ASKVIBEZ, Ask Vibes. Yeah, that's it. We've come to the end of the show. It's hot outside. Summertime, yes. And all I see is ass flopping in that dress. It's summertime. Hot outside, yes. And all I see is ass flopping in that dress. Bars. Oh, baby. Yeah, that's it, y'all. I got to get the fuck up out of here. And like I said before, I really did miss you guys. Thanks for being such great people and tuning in every week. And I appreciate y'all. I truly do. And I'm out this bitch.